Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into some absolutely fascinating insights from Osman, who you probably know as the blind Muslim yogi. Now, Osman has an incredible story. He's a master-level bioenergy healer specializing in critical care and terminal illnesses, and he's been practicing yoga and meditation at an incredibly advanced level for 50 years. He actually permanently lost his sight recently back in May of 2023, so he draws heavily on a lifetime of visual memories to teach us. Today, we're looking at his highly effective strategy on how actively controlling our everyday environment can literally heal our minds and bodies.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover mind, body, and stress, limiting negative social exposure, curating a positive media diet, and finally, healing through music therapy. Let's jump right in.
Starting right off with the mind, body, and stress.
It's really easy to think of the mind and body as these two completely separate things, right? But modern science shows us a pretty startling reality. A staggering 70 to 80% of all illnesses people face today are heavily influenced by stress. Really think about that for a second. The vast majority of physical ailments are directly tied to the chronic stress we're carrying around in our heads. So if we can find a way to manage our thought processes and environmental stress, we are unlocking a massive advantage in overcoming and preventing serious medical conditions.
Now, Osman makes something crystal clear here. Despite being a master-level energy healer, he emphasizes that this holistic approach does not replace licensed medical care. If you're unwell, you absolutely need to see your doctor. There are often underlying chemical imbalances or physical inflammations that require modern medical intervention. Osman's natural therapies and environmental controls, they're designed to work right alongside medical science, not replace it. You're basically tackling the problem from both the physical and the energetic side.
And this brings us to a brilliant pivot we need to make in our wellness journey. We've all heard that theoretical advice, right? Just stop thinking negatively or just be positive. But let's be real, practically speaking, that's almost impossible. You can't just magically flip a switch in your brain and turn off anxiety. So Osman suggests a much more actionable reality. Since you can't always control the spontaneous thoughts popping into your head, your goal has to be actively curating your external exposure to negativity. You control the environment, and the environment eventually calms the mind.
Which leads us perfectly into our second point, limiting negative social exposure.
The crucial thing to remember here is that human beings are essentially energetic sponges. If you're constantly surrounded by negative individuals, well, their stress becomes your stress. Osman advises taking actionable steps to reduce or completely eliminate your exposure to highly negative people. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but it's a necessary boundary for your physical and mental health. If you don't have to go to places steeped in negativity, simply don't go. Protect your peace like your health depends on it, because as we saw with that 80% statistic earlier, it literally does.
But of course, life is complicated. What if that negative person is a coworker you sit next to every day, or even a spouse? For those unavoidable situations, Osman highly recommends seeking professional counseling. Bringing in a neutral, trained professional isn't a sign of failure at all. It's a strategic move. Actually, effective counseling can reduce relationship conflict by anywhere from 50 to 80%. By actively neutralizing that localized conflict, you're directly reducing the daily stress load that's impacting your health.
Okay, moving on to our third pillar, curating a positive media diet.
This is a total game changer, especially if you deal with anxiety, chronic stress, or depression. You've got to completely cut out the daily news cycle. Just stop reading trending negative chats and online arguments. Instead, actively seek out topics that actually build you up. Osman curates his own media diet by focusing on plant-based nutrition, business talk shows, stand-up comedy, talks on consciousness, and updates on medical advancements. He's actively programming his brain with positive, educational, and uplifting content.
It's all about consciously replacing that endless doom scrolling with carefully selected content that elevates your consciousness and fundamentally just makes you feel good. Listen to popular podcast interviews with positive, influential figures. By starving your brain of all those global anxieties and feeding it inspiration, laughter, and education, you drastically shift your internal chemistry. You're not just passing time, you're actively administering preventative medicine through your media choices.
Finally, let's talk about healing through music therapy.
Sound has a truly profound physical impact on the body. Osman specifically points to independent resources like the Meditative Mind channel on YouTube. They use authentic, specific frequencies and therapeutic flute music that are scientifically proven to improve calmness and lower stress levels. Putting this kind of music on in the background while you work, or maybe listening to it first thing in the morning, acts as a really gentle, continuous anchor for your nervous system.
But here's a brilliant twist. It's not exclusively about calm flute music. Osman is an advanced meditation and yoga practitioner, yet he openly shares that he relies on high-energy trance music during his workouts. Why? Well, because elevating your mood and making yourself feel good is the ultimate objective. Sometimes you need calm, sure, but sometimes you need an energetic release. Giving yourself permission to blast high-energy music to get those endorphins flowing is a perfectly valid and incredibly powerful therapeutic tool.
And this isn't just anecdotal. Osman points out that this aligns with over 30 years of clinical observation from professionals like Dr. Phil McGraw. With decades of experience, Dr. Phil emphasizes that music is an amazing therapy to change your mood, and in many situational cases, it can actually be a safer and more effective mood shifter than reaching for a drug. It's just a free, immediate, and powerful way to intercept a downward mental spiral.
So, to summarize what we've covered today, implementing 3 actionable daily steps creates a powerful, almost impenetrable shield against the overwhelming stress that fuels physical illness. Step 1, manage the people you're exposed to. Step 2, cut that toxic news cycle and carefully curate what you watch. And Step 3, play mood-boosting music to actively regulate your nervous system. These aren't just little lifestyle tips, they're a daily defense strategy for your long-term health.
If you want to dive deeper into this fascinating intersection of holistic healing, you've got to visit yogawellness786.com. Be sure to download his completely free 5-minute yoga and meditation program while you're there. Osman offers extensive free guidance on his YouTube channel, but you can also find his Patreon on his website for paid daily online lessons and consultations. Now keep in mind, due to his 50 years of intensive practice, sometimes up to 18 hours a day, and his incredibly high success rate, his master-level energy healing is offered exclusively as a premium service. He really is dedicated to reviving these ancient sciences to improve absolutely every aspect of our lives.
I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up today's explainer. We've seen just how much your environment impacts your physical body. So what specific negative input, whether that's a news app, a toxic social media feed, or a stressful interaction, are you going to cut out today to protect your peace and your wellness? Take control of your environment and watch your health transform. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.